See,
trying to
come
film.
on.
Have I broken? This guy's telling me I have to sit down for causing a disturbance. Can I have your name and badge number? Name and badge number.
Castro 22744.
Can I have your name and badge number?
We'll get to that. No, this guy hey, what's your ID?
I don't have my ID.
You don't have your ID?
I'm trying to leave the store, and this guy's following me out, and now I'm in.
Listen to me. Just come in.
All right, I'm calm.
So let me get this straight. You're in the store.
Without a mask. They told me to leave. I leave, and now I'm still being. They're following me out. So I left the store and I'm ready to go, but now I was being followed out, and I'm like, "Why are you following me out?" And he's like looking at my car. He's following me and my family. So I'm like, "What are you doing?" And then you guys showed up, and that's it. So no crime was committed, no violence was incited, and that's it. Am I being detained?
You're detained.
Okay. For what? Have I committed a crime?
Possibly disorderly conduct.
Possibly disorderly conduct. What is that? Does free speech in a public forum count as disorderly conduct?
Well, what's happening here is they're calling us. They're saying you're being disorderly.
And I'm leaving.
You're yelling.
Yeah, but because then they were following me out. At that point, I'm being threatened, correct? When they're following me to my car, is that not a threat on my family and my personal space?
Let me give you some insight here. You're talking to someone who is probably 99.9% thinking the way you think. Okay? So, give me a second here, right?
All right.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I'm on board with you.
Okay.
All right? So, this is how it works. The mask thing, that's not our business, right?
What do you mean by that? Like, just out of curiosity.
We're not going to enforce that.
Okay.
Right.
Is it because it's not a law?
I have my personal beliefs on it, but I can tell you right now, we're not going to enforce anything about the mask.
Okay.
This is what they can enforce, right? Regardless of whether you got a mask on or a cape or whatever. Like if we show up, right, and you guys are getting into a big heated deal, which you're emotional and you're ticked off, and you're,
Is that against the law to talk loudly with passion?
Partly no, but at the point where they're calling, and then we come out here, and then we have to determine, okay, is this disorderly conduct or whatever? We talk to them, we talk to you. He sees you being upset. Sounds like they're being upset.
I mean, yeah, I just got kicked out of the store because I wouldn't wear a mask. And if you agree with me the way you say you do, you can see why somebody would be upset about that,
Totally
right?
agree. Yeah. Believe me, I've about lost my mind on some of this stuff. Right?
It's crazy.
I'm on board with you.
I appreciate your honesty in that regard.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you right now, the only thing we're here to do is like we would do on any call. It's like, okay, is this disorderly conduct where to the point it's serious disruptive behavior? That would be it. That's the only thing we're looking at here.
Cool. Well, I was leaving, and then they followed me out, and that's when I got a little perturbed because at that point they're kind of following me to my car. So, you know, that's kind of like...
All right. So this is what happens. What do they want?
Trespass.
Okay.
Trespass? Isn't this public? Isn't the public parking lot?
Yep.
From the convenience store.
I left the convenience store. I left. Under, like when they asked me to leave, I left. So I wasn't trespassing.
Hang tight with this officer real quick, okay?
All right.
Let me talk to him.
Now he told me you guys don't enforce the mask thing. Is that true?
Well, that's what he says.
Is that like a?
I'm assuming he's taking the report on this. If there's going to be a report.
Is that a department-wide thing? Like that you guys don't enforce the mask thing?
If they want you trespassed, that's what I'm enforcing. Is if that's what it's going to be, then I'll just enforce that you're going to get trespassed. I'm not.
But I'm not trespassing.
I'm not pushing an issue about. Yeah, but if a private property, like a company, wants to say, hey, we don't want him at the store anymore,
I know, and
and you were causing an issue, and whatever happened, I came in, both of you guys are yelling at each other.
Was I in the store?
If they want you trespassed, then you can be trespassed from the store.
But am I not in a public? When you say trespass from the store, do you mean banned from the store?
Yeah, like if they want you trespassed from the store, you can be trespassed from the store. If you're using the store next door,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're trespassed from the store. Doesn't mean you're trespassed from the lot. It means you're trespassed from this store itself.
Okay. So, but this is a public parking lot.
This is a shopping complex.
Yeah, so it's public, right?
Yeah, but you were at the entrance to the store.
Well, that's because I was being followed into the parking lot by the people in there. One of them doesn't even work in the store. One of them is just some guy who was following me there.
If they want you trespassed, you could be trespassed from there. Okay?
Okay.
From the store. Not you're not making any sense by saying, oh, the parking lot, this and that. that doesn't really matter at this point. If they want you trespass from this store, you trespass from this store. Like, because you could be.
When you say trespass, do you mean banned? Is that what you're saying? Just like banned from the
like
store?
If a private property wants, if a private company just buys fresh food store.
But wait, they're open
if
to
they
the
want-
public though, right?
But if they want you trespass, they can have you trespass from the store.
But if the only basis is based on a mask, isn't that a violation
Yeah, but
of the
if they
Medical
really want
Disabilities
you to
Act?
Trespass from the store, then you would be trespassed. So.
And they can just do that at will to anybody?
I've explained it to you many times, man. I don't know how many more times you want me to explain.
Okay. Am I free to go? Okay.
What's your first name?
My natural name is Carmen.
Carmen?
Yeah.
Okay, Carmen. Nice to meet you. My name's Craig.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. So it sounds to me like, and I wasn't here, all right? It sounds to me like things were getting heated in there. You were using some profanity and stuff like that.
Is that illegal?
It is when it becomes serious disruptive behavior, disorderly conduct in the business.
What is that? Like, what is the, I guess, where is the line?
I don't want to get into the line.
Okay.
The line is if I go into a store and let's say
And they ask you to leave because you're black. Do you have to
Are you
leave?
gonna let him finish, man?
I'm just,
You continue to interrupt. You're being rude.
Don't do what ifs, right?
okay.
Right. We're not going to get into some sort of ignorant race thing here because those days.
I agree. I think you can't do that, right? We would agree that you can't ask somebody to leave a private business just because of their color.
Let me make my point. Let me remind you, you're talking to someone who is on board with where you're coming from. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm asking you to be cool with me. I'm being totally straight with you.
I appreciate that.
And then when we're done with this, if you want to have a conversation about your personal beliefs on masks and stuff, I would love to sit down and talk to you and give you my 2 cents.
Word.
Okay? But with that being said, regardless of whatever went on today, if someone goes into a place and it's a private business and you get upset about something, which is your right to get upset, but at the point where you start yelling profanities and stuff like that and it's disrupting the business, they can trespass you. So what I'm asking for right now is just your name and date of birth, right? So that you are documented as being trespassed here. If you return here, they may or may not have you arrested for trespassing. It's a private business. They can totally do that. We can come and do this. So I'm not throwing anything out that's violating your rights. I'm not trying to screw you over. I'm just trying to do what the situation is entailed. That's it.
Okay. Well,
Are we cool?
I mean, we're cool. Am I free to go?
After you give me your name and date of birth.
I don't want to identify myself because I don't want to consent to anything unwittingly by identifying myself. You know what I mean? I won't come back to this store. Like, I really don't like these people. I don't want to support this business, but I also don't want to identify myself, and I don't believe I have legal obligation to as well. I would just like to go home now at this point, if that's okay with you guys. I'm not going to cause any more disturbances. I'm not going to go back to the store. I refuse to go back to a store that treats me like that. But at the same time, I am going to exercise my rights, if that's okay. I'm just being cool. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. I'm ready to go and, you know, make this the end of this charade.
This charade?
Yeah.
You're not going to come back here?
Nope. No desire to go back in that store after the way I was treated. And after what you know what the mask is leading to, man. And I don't want to support businesses that support that.
Here, come talk to me real quick.
Just
You turn your camera on, and I'll turn my camera on, and we'll have a conversation.
Ew. So after I paused it, obviously he wanted that private, and for a good reason. So I won't go too much into it. But basically, dude, there's a lot more cops that are on the side of the awake people than we think. And it's to the point where they can't even say how they really feel, but they're actually in the good fight with us. So that's all I'll say on that. Nothing ended up happening. I didn't have to identify myself, you know, because it's all bullshit. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't commit a crime. Everybody knows that. You know, like, the one asshole cop was trying to be all tough guy with me, but, like, he knows, like, he would be breaking the rules if he did anything to me, because I didn't do anything. I'm playing this chess masterfully. I've been dealing with these guys my whole life. But the other guy, the reasonable one, turned out to be really cool, and we gave him some thick red line cards, and he's super interested, and this whole department is super interested in thick red line and in police banding together to not enforce victimless crimes and COVID tyranny. So that's actually a very, very, like, a super dope, like, just inspiring twist of events that gives me so much hope about our people in law enforcement, that they actually might be more on our side than we can realize. Because the fucking people at the grocery marts they're fucking sold out. I didn't film any of it, but before all that, before the cops came up, I was yelling at everybody in the store because we got kicked out again for not wearing masks. I was just like spitting COVID truth in the store, and they asked me to leave, and then we were leaving, they like followed us out. So I came in and ran back up, and I kept spitting more truth and telling them to stop following my family. And they called the cops, and the cops show up, and I turned the camera on. So that's how that whole thing started, and then you saw how it progressed, and now it ended pretty cool. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Keep flexing your rights, because even if you get kicked out of the store, man, we really connected with that cop, and who knows how much of a ripple effect that will have ultimately when it comes to the deciding factors of whether or not these COVID tyranny mandates are going to be enforced or whether they're going to be ignored and transcended. Peace.